Third phase of moon.
Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. Blake Cousins here. We've got a special report for you tonight. You guys are looking for some UFOs tonight, right? Well, you're in the right place. We got them from around the world, and it's going to be an exciting night all the way from South America. Apparently, a massive-sized disc-shaped object was captured in broad daylight. Then we're going to be going over to NASA of an incredible image, which looks to be a metallic flying saucer close to the ISS. What's going on with these flying saucers nowadays, including Japan? Is there a secret portal or some kind of entry into a mountain which a flying saucer is perched upon? We've got it all for you tonight, so buckle up, everybody. Let's get to it and start the video right now. Coming in from Tijuana, roll it. All right, we're looking at this video right now, and it's pretty incredible. It's broad daylight footage. We watched it. It is incredible to behold, and right now, I gotta say, this is authentic. This is no manipulation as what we could see in this video. It's very detailed, and at one point, when you get a closer look on this thing, we see no indication of a gondola or a tail, so I'm rolling out a blimp. What the heck is this? We got special guests tonight with me, my brother Brent, including Orlando Smith. Welcome to the show, Orlando. What's your thoughts right now on this incredible footage coming out of Tijuana?
Hey guys, thanks for having me on the show. Wow, it's really incredible. This footage is intriguing to say the least. Just the mere shape of the object is it doesn't look like a normal aircraft. It doesn't look like any US government issue aircraft. It has a cigar shape. It doesn't have any tail fins. It doesn't have any indication of wings. The structure is just simply a cigar shape. Now, I mean, the first thing I thought was maybe the angle we're seeing it from might indicate a certain shape, but perhaps it has more dimension to it than just a cigar. Perhaps if we could see it at a different angle, it might have an entirely different structure. At this point, we don't know. I expect we will know within the next couple of days, given the amount of visibility that this is having. And I'm seeing on the chat a lot of interesting stories that indicate that we'll find out a lot more about this in the coming days. But I'm excited about it because it might represent something that we haven't seen before.
Absolutely, Orlando. Is this possibly like a government space asset, some kind of a new drone in our skies? Brent, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, great to have Orlando on the panel. Good discussion right now, seeing everybody in the chat rocking it. Thanks for joining us, everyone. This is a very interesting capture right here over Tijuana, and we're looking at it, and we're getting a good close-up. What is this thing? We kind of see a little spot right in the middle. What I'm seeing here does not represent a blimp. What we're seeing here may be a disc, a flying saucer. If we did see it at another angle, like Orlando said earlier, it could look like a plate from underneath it, a saucer shape. What's going on over the skies of Tijuana and South America? It just keeps lighting up over there.
Absolutely. South America and the flying saucers, it seems that they're just off the hook over there. We're appreciating the evidence coming from that region. It's really important to us. Thanks for joining us in South America and sharing this stuff with us. Now, let me tell you, we even have more UFO videos, so let's just roll it. Guys, I want you guys to look at this very closely. This is coming in from NASA. And after we do a little enhancement on this, something pops out, something in space that resembles a metallic flying saucer with portals. You can see this very clear. NASA, can you give us an answer? What's going on? I really want to know, because we've got a lot of questions and NASA's not giving us many answers in regards to some of the data, the content that they're capturing. Brent, what's your thoughts on this incredible metallic flying saucer in space next to the ISS?
Yeah, it's almost the shape of a hockey puck, but when you look closely, you see these portholes kind of beaming out of it, and it's kind of interesting. We had to highlight this image to make it kind of be more pronounced, and we're seeing it closely. What is this? Is this a reflection? I'm leaning not towards that direction. I'm leaning towards something that, again, is this one of ours or something otherworldly? Because we're seeing visitors almost a daily basis right now near the ISS and the Dragon X. What's going on in the skies and space right now?
Absolutely. The breaking news in regards to the ISS, the Space Dragon near encounters with silvery objects, which we just posted last night. Is this one of them? Orlando, do you think this is possibly Space Force or something extraterrestrial in nature?
I don't think I can make a conclusive determination on whether it was ours or not ours, but I can say it is an object that is clearly present in the outside of the atmosphere. It's in close proximity to the space station. It could be another vehicle. We have many vehicles which we are not privy to the information behind their locations and the nature of the vehicles. But it is a highly reflective object. It's not space junk. It's too large to be a piece of space junk floating around. Objects such as this are charted. It's clearly of a size which would be present on all the indicators that are charting all the objects in proximity to the space station. So we may not know the nature of the object, but you can be sure there's more information regarding this object, and I'm sure NASA and other agencies and other private individuals at this point are charting the nature of this vehicle, its location, and other things around this object.
Absolutely. Well said there, Orlando. Due to the fact that there's so much private enterprise behind space and the domination of space, could this be some kind of asset within a private corporation like Lockheed Martin or Skunk Works involved with space travel with vehicles to the ISS that we're not privy to, like Orlando says? Or is this something extraterrestrial in nature? As we're looking at it even closer, you could almost see an underside to it. Is this a propulsion, the meta propulsion behind it, and these portholes that reveal themselves? What's in this craft? Is it unmanned? Is it manned by something extraterrestrial? This is incredible. NASA, I want an answer. And if you guys are enjoying this, please give us a big thumbs up on this live premiere, because we even have more UFO sightings for you. And if you got any answers for us in regards to this NASA footage, please, I want to see it in the comments. Now, let's get to this. Japan. Broad daylight sighting, something perched up on a mountain. Watch this. So I'm getting a closer look in this. I'm slowing the video down so we could make out exactly what this disc-shaped object perched on the mountain is. Could it be a structure built up on the mountain? It's very dangerous, in my opinion. If this is a structure, if there's any earthquakes or any kind of activity, this thing would topple over. I'm not exactly sure. We're looking for answers, and right now we don't have the exact location. We did get permission granted from the person who shot this, and we're trying to find out this exact location so we can get back there and see if this metallic object or building, if this is what it is, is still there, because if it isn't, we've got something here, people. This is not manipulated footage. Whatever this is, it's there. And in my opinion, it resembles a large metallic disc-shaped object with some kind of metallic dome over it. Brent, what's your thoughts on this initially?
Yeah, the submitter, you can see that they're trying to capture this. It's almost a struggle. And then they get some good close-ups of it, and it comes into focus, and we see this kind of flying saucer with a dome on top of it. It's highly reflective off the sun. You can see it gleaming right there. Again, is this a building perched up there? Some people might even say that there may be entrances into these mountains that we've seen before. I know Area 51 has these secret doorways that probably have their secret assets in there, where you're going to see a UFO fly out of it. Again, we need to know the location, and if we do and this thing's not there, then we're looking at something that isn't explained, and we need to find this out pretty soon.
Absolutely, Brent. Do you notice there's some kind of like a line, a white line underneath the saucer itself? What is that? Is this some kind of a tractor beam? I'm not exactly sure. We're just kind of wanting to get some answers. Again, if this isn't a building up there, perched up precariously up on a mountainside, what is it, Orlando? Any thoughts here?
This picture is so exciting and intriguing. Some of the elements in the picture do make sense. The white line, to me, really looks like a terrestrial element. It looks like something that is attached to the mountain. But then when you look at the saucer-shaped structure, the angle on that saucer shape is just not, it's not level. Regardless of what angle you look at it, it has a tilt. And in an engineering sense, I have never seen architecture which is not level. I mean, and the fact that it protrudes so far out, at least from this angle, it seems to protrude at such a great distance out from the mountain. It looks more like an object that is not connected to the terrestrial portion at all times. Perhaps it's a vehicle that's flying by, or it's perhaps a station. Perhaps that white feature, that white line feature, is the terrestrial feature that this object that appears to be perhaps in flight is somehow connecting to. Or is it just in close proximity to it and it appears? But it does not seem to be a natural architectural feature because of the angle. You can tell even from this angle, it is not level. And so that is what indicates to me that it is a vehicle, whether it's connected to the terrestrial features or not. It is not a natural feature that's present there. It looks like a vehicle, an airborne vehicle of some sort to me.
Absolutely. I'm looking at this even closer, and I'm trying to make out if this is a vehicle, Orlando. How large is this? Because the mountainside seems quite large. I'd have to speculate that this craft, if it is at least, I don't know, 40 to maybe 80 to 100 feet in length here. And there are possibilities. People speculate that there are entries into mountainsides, like Brent said, at Area 51, Mount Shasta. Why not Japan? And this white light that is possibly reflected onto the mountainside by the craft itself. I'm not exactly sure, but it's interesting. The conical shape on top of the building.
This craft, I know, Blake, you suggested that it could be potentially 80 feet, but my first initial reaction is that this thing looks like it's perhaps in the hundreds of feet. The trees beneath are surely at least 100 feet. And this craft, or I'm already saying craft because I'm thinking it's not architecture, but I don't know what it is at this point. But this object it looks like, I would say 150 feet to 200 feet. That's my just ballpark guess. It's substantial in size. This thing is huge.
Does the Japan, government have their own space force? Are they experimenting with anti-gravity or some unknown meta propulsion? Because in my opinion, these discs are being seen around the world. We haven't seen so many in Japan, but we have history of these Japanese sightings of these metallic flying saucers. So it's pretty incredible. Orlando?
For one thing, officially Japan doesn't have a military, but I've been to Japan several times. I've seen the Japanese military in multiple occasions, and I asked the people that I was traveling with about it. They didn't want to comment too much about it, but they acknowledged, yeah, there are activities that might be outside of our normal understanding. And of course, and Japan being such a technological innovator, I would absolutely expect that they're working on cutting edge vehicles of all sorts and cutting edge technology. So I wouldn't be surprised to see something that I hadn't seen before coming out of Japan.
Yeah, good call, Orlando. Again, Orlando's been on the show before. You may have seen him, but I want to give everybody a heads up. Orlando is a geospatial analyst right here in the big island of Hawaii, and he's active. What do you do in that research?
Typically, I work with all sorts of data, basically data in any form. In an environmental and a conservation application is what I'm currently working toward. But basically, I've worked with multiple hats and applied my expertise in several forms. And so when it comes to data, that is something that it's a hobby of mine, and it is my career as well. And so I enjoy analyzing any form of data that I can get my hands on. And this type of visual data suggests things that are anomalous to me. They're intriguing, and I'm excited to hear what's happening in the chat, because I know out there's a lot of information that is just wanting and waiting to reach the surface, and Third Phase is a great place to share information. So I'm going to be scrolling through the chat and scrubbing through the chat and trying to find some explanations and answers for what I think is a vehicle in this case. Is it architecture or a vehicle? That's what I want to know.
I got a feeling we might find out tomorrow if this is indeed a building structure. But like Orlando said, there's some peculiar angles on this structure itself. It seems a little precarious, if you ask me, if this were a building up there. If this is indeed a flying saucer hovering over there, we've got something, like I said, guys. And Brent, any last thoughts on this incredible sighting?
Yeah, again, just love the submissions coming in from around the world. We're hitting it on a daily basis. They just keep coming in, and we're so happy to share it with you and have our panel members, Orlando Smith joining us, drummer for a new band, Thirdphaseofmoon, Behind the Veil. What's going on with these recent sightings? Everybody give us a big thumbs up for getting the information out. Again, we're going to need to find out where this location is, and if it's not there, that's where we're going to get down to it, the bottom of this mystery right now.
Appreciate that, Brandon. Appreciate everybody joining us in this incredible live premiere. Wow, things are heating up. We've got a lot of UFO sightings, and we're going to be sharing them with you real soon right here at Third Phase of Moon. So you could unbuckle right now. Be safe. Keep your eyes on the skies. Appreciate everybody and the support. Blake Cousins, we'll see you next time.
I think it's terrifying. I mean, this seems potentially like one of the biggest stories of my lifetime. And I don't care if it's about UFOs or whatever you call it. Something that we don't understand is getting very close to our military aircraft.
The technologies related to energy generation should come out first.
This hybrid aerospace underwater craft is able to basically generate an electromagnetic field.
It is President Trump's belief that the United States must remain as dominant in space as we are on land and sea and the air. And your charge is to see to that mission with the United States Space Force.
There were 3 people on my team assassinated, and I was almost killed.
With a lot of people that would like to know what's going on.
It's a matter of national security.
but apparently just recovered are off-world vehicles not made on this Earth.
The president will respond to the subject the way they want them to. There's a black box with all the technologies that would give us a civilization that's sustainable, peaceful, etc., and that's been around for decades.
Everybody's asking the biggest question in the world. Are we alone?
Look, it's holding, it's just stalled out there.
The narrative that's being launched, which is a false narrative, is that we're not alone and that those civilizations are a threat. The problem is that the public has to be informed and involved.
It could be a brief statement saying, hallelujah, I'm finally vindicated.
I'm not completely convinced they're gonna let this stay like it is.
But the people who are surrounding that level of our politicians and government are not told. Like the movie Independence Day, where Will Smith, let's go kick alien butt.